Hello and welcome to Con Artist number 7, your number one source for nothing except our opinion. I'm your host, Maestro, along with
Me?
him and this guy
I am Groot.
and Groot.
That would be art by Dan H. and Shiny Doctor Cosplay in that order.
And Budget Deadpool, if we want to go there.
Yeah, if we want to go there.
It's Deadpool, but
Let's go there.
on a budget. We have a lot to talk about today.
You two have a lot to talk about. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, well, it's just because you don't follow wrestling like we do. But
You don't have to anymore. You can follow the UFC.
Oh, yes, we can, because CM Punk has just signed with UFC, and as soon as I figure out how to watch UFC, I will be.
And there's a good reason I don't watch wrestling. I got very disappointed, all right? I heard about TNA, and I was wrong.
Well, plus, I mean,
it was very misleading.
Well, I feel like every month we also, come on here and talk smack about the WWE, and
No!
that doesn't encourage Dan to watch it.
Are you saying we layeth the smacketh down?
On their candy asses.
That I never remember.
Well, let's talk briefly about the WWE. I know.
Briefly.
Well, I want to talk about the whole CM Punk thing because there's a lot to talk about with CM Punk right now. But before we get into that, there's a rumor going around that the night after TLC, we may actually get to see the WWE World Heavyweight Champion again.
I'm more interested in seeing the title. After all, we only saw it once, and it was very briefly as he was headed out the door.
Yes. So that's the rumor going around. TLC, I don't even know what the matches are. I just watch because I have the WWE Network for $9.99 a month. And let me something I need to say. We may look like hypocrites because we sit here and have a segment called the WWE Sucks, and yet we still watch it and we have the WWE Network.
It's because there's that faint glimmer of hope that it'll stop sucking.
That's just it. Like when WCW went out of business, those last 2 years where it was horrible, I still watched it and recorded every Nitro because I had this, maybe it'll be a good show. That's just the type of fan I am. I'm thinking to myself, maybe it'll get better. And I feel like, I don't know, there's still a chance that someday wrestling will be better than what it is right now. But I feel like if I stop watching, I won't know when that happens. Basically.
It's true, and it's just as soon as, Vince McMahon gets his head out of Triple H's ass.
Oh.
Maybe he'll realize what a shambles his company is.
Well, I mean, I won't. I know he's making money somewhere. I'm not sure on what, but he's definitely making money off something. But you know what? I mean, there's really not much going on in the WWE right now. But I do want to talk about the very popular and controversial podcast that CM Punk did with COLT CABANA just a few weeks ago. Vince McMahon on Stone Cold's podcast and his rebuttal, along with what CM Punk had to say after the fact. Now, let's start off with what Punk said. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I will suggest that you need to look it up. It's COLT CABANA's podcast. CM Punk was on it 2 episodes in a row. And Vince McMahon was on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast. I would check that out too. That was actually a really good listen. But I enjoy any of Steve Austin's podcasts. But basically, what we learned was, one, CM Punk did not walk out of the company. He did not quit. He was fired on his wedding day. And I mean, there was a whole lot of legal situations, that came because of that. Let's see, what else did we hear about that? We also heard that he was wrestling with a staph infection, which could have killed him.
Yep, and it was misdiagnosed by the WWE medical staff.
Yep. So that was a big screw up on their part. I'm not going to go into his entire podcast. Like I said, you guys really need to listen to it. It's really good. And I was just so happy that the story finally came out. I swear I've been saying that since January. It's like someday we'll know what really happened. Whether we hear Vince's story first or hear CM Punk's story first, we'll hear the story eventually.
I think if Vince had his way, we never would have heard the story at all.
Well, I heard that Vince was upset when it came out, but I heard Triple H was the one who was more furious. But honestly, Triple H, get over it. Seriously. But yeah, he was honestly, so he did not quit. He was fired on his wedding day. He was not contacted. There's just a whole lot of mess up.
And the only apology that Vince McMahon really offered was for firing him on his wedding day.
Yeah.
Not for firing him Not for having incompetent medical staff who couldn't diagnose a staph infection that could have killed him.
Yep.
Not for anything else, just for firing him on his wedding day.
Yeah.
And the only reason he did that was because he had to issue some kind of statement in regards to it after being called on his shit.
Basically. And that's just it, because Vince, he made a public apology on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast. And CM Punk's rebuttal to that was, listen, you have my phone number. You know where I live. You could have come by my house anytime while you were in Chicago and apologize to my face. Apologizing on public, TV or on a podcast like that, that's a publicity stunt. So, I mean, I will never say never for CM Punk returning to WWE, but if it does happen, it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon.
It'll be a long damn time.
It will be. And I still hope, there's still a hope in me that someday we will see him in the WWE ring again. But what I am excited about is that CM Punk has officially signed with UFC. That has got me excited. Now, let's be honest. I want to see him do great. I want to see him go in there and whoop some ass. But he may walk into that octagon and, he might get his ass kicked. We don't know.
It's entirely possible. The UFC guys are really tough. I think that he'll definitely do better than Brock Lesnar did.
Oh, I think he definitely will. And
let's face it, Brock Lesnar in the UFC was a publicity stunt.
Yeah, I never actually watched it, but I never really heard anything good about Brock Lesnar in the UFC. But one thing I would love to see, because I've heard Brock Lesnar say that he would like to go back to the UFC at some point. Okay, if that happens, I want to see CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar in the UFC. No WWE referees, no script, one-on-one fighting. Because honestly, I think CM Punk would whoop his ass.
Oh, I think so. I think definitely.
Yeah, because Brock Lesnar has size, but Punk has a lot of skill. Not just in wrestling, but I know he's I don't want to say I know he some karate background or whatnot. I don't want to go into.
He's always been really into mixed martial arts.
Yes. So
I mean that's gonna probably play a lot into how he does in the UFC ring.
Yeah, I think he'll do very good. And another thing I find interesting is that Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger,
as the Green Power Ranger, wants to fight CM Punk.
Yes, he does. I guess he's been saying that for a long time now, and honestly, I'd pay to see that.
I'd pay to see it if he's going to wear the costume.
That would be funny, even if he didn't have.
Or at least come to the octagon on the Dragon Zord.
Yeah, or even if he just got one of those Green Ranger shirts that they have, like Hot Topic or whatever now, just something. I think that'd be a great fight. So. I don't know. I look forward to seeing that. But seriously, CM Punk is on Colt Cabana's podcast. You need to check out. He's on there twice.
The Art of Wrestling podcast.
Yes. He's on there twice in a row. You need to listen to both of them. He had some great stories to tell. And what I find great was the reaction it got from a lot of the guys who still work for the WWE. Because a lot of the guys even people who didn't really like Punk, said, "Oh my God, I'm so happy he said that." Because
they were glad somebody could finally voice what they were all thinking and all feeling.
Exactly, because it's like when you're under contract with WWE, it's like you probably have a lot of opinions, but you're always, unless you're CM Punk, you always are a little hesitant to say something in public because it may come back to bite you in the ass.
True, and after the first Art of Wrestling podcast aired and all that stuff was said between Colt Cabana and CM Punk, people were like, "Oh, these guys can't expect a WWE callback anytime soon." It's like CM Punk is not looking for a WWE callback, and Colt Cabana hasn't worked for them since 2009. I don't think he's expecting a callback either.
I don't think he's all that worried. I mean, he works for them for 2 years. I don't know if we ever saw him on TV.
Yeah, I think it was 2, maybe 2.5 years off and on.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
But he still made more appearances than the WWE World Heavyweight Championship has.
I had something else. Something else I do want to talk about, WWE-wise. The most exciting thing that's probably happened in years, I would say, at the last pay-per-view, Survivor Series, Sting made his WWE debut.
Yes, he did, and faces melted everywhere.
Yes, they did, and I won't lie, I was watching the pay-per-view, I actually dozed off, and then I wake up, I see Triple H unconscious in the ring, I see Dolph Ziggler pinning Seth Rollins, and then I see Sting walking into the back. I'm like, whoa, what just happened? What? So I pull out the control, rewind it, and I see I guess Big Show knocked out John Cena, and Triple H beat up Dolph Ziggler, and it looked like the Authority was going to win, and all of a sudden the lights go out, this weird, bird music starts, and I'm a little bummed because they didn't use Sting's actual entrance music.
Yeah, I think that definitely would have been something just to make it that much more of an impact, that much more remembered that they used his theme.
Because it's like, yeah, I understand that was a WCW theme, but that's the theme they use when they advertise him for WWE 2K15. So they obviously have the rights to the music. So it's like, why didn't we just use his original music? I think people would have recognized it. The only thing that bums me out is you can tell Sting's not as young as he used to be.
Yeah, but you can tell that with a lot of these guys. I mean, Triple H, when he frowns, has some more wrinkles on the back of his head than,
Yeah.
Droopy does, and stuff like that. Like, he looks old now.
Yeah, he does. And it's almost kind of depressing. But I'm still glad that he's in the WWE now. That he will wrestle probably Triple H at WrestleMania, if I had to guess, based on what happened. And I'm just glad to see him in. Because it was honestly it's the most interesting that's happened since CM Punk left.
Yeah, it was the best pay-per-view that's happened since the WWE Network was launched.
I can safely say that.
WrestleMania was a huge disappointment. They were all bad all the way up to Survivor Series when we got to see Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins face off one-on-one.
Yeah.
And got to see them demonstrate what they can do in the ring if given the chance. That, I think, was really huge. And then we got to see the debut of Sting, this monumental moment where the only professional wrestler that I can think of that has never set foot in a WWE ring became the last wrestler who's been around from the old generation to set foot in the WWE ring. He broke that. We can't say that he's never done it anymore.
Yeah, and I know, back when WCW was around, he was very loyal to WCW, and I felt like TNA was kind of the almost WCW reborn. I mean, it started from the NWA, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of
in its early years, it was NWA TNA.
Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of comes from the same roots as WCW. So, I understand why Sting was loyal to them. But I feel what it comes down to is, if he's going to retire, if he's going to go out, he needs to wrestle at WrestleMania at least once in his career. And I think that's why he did it. And he even said it at one of the press conferences he did that he's like, you know what, he's not getting any younger, and it's kind of now or never. So, but I think that's all we have to say about that at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's the end of that subject. It's just the whole Green Power Ranger versus CM Punk in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that happen. Yeah, I'm hoping. And now we just got to get Dan back in here because he doesn't watch wrestling, so he knows nothing about what's going on in wrestling right now. So hopefully we get Dan. Dan! He's coming.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done talking about wrestling. So now you can actually put your
I'm awake.
All right, well, let's see. Let's go on to Megafest.
I hope you all enjoyed the intermission.
You know what? Just because you don't know what the hell's going on doesn't mean... Ha ha! I just got a beer
Not
open.
only do I not know what the hell's going on, I don't know who half these people are. Okay? Half the people I used to watch as wrestlers are either retired, dead, or both.
Well, Sting finally debuted in the WWE, right?
I know.
Last month's pay-per-view. Of course, we haven't seen him since, but
of course
we knew that was going to happen.
But we've seen him more times in the past 3 months than we've seen Brock Lesnar.
Very true. Oh, that'll never happen again. All right, but time to move on. I want to talk about we did right before Thanksgiving. We were at New England Super Megafest and Comic-Con in Framingham, Massachusetts.
That title's too long. It's Megafest.
It is. I would say it was actually a very good show this year. I was actually shocked. Like there wasn't. I mean, they had more space for vendors because there wasn't a row of porn stars that they got.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
A little disappointed, but shocked.
Yeah, but as I've said many times before, porn stars, I mean, I've never wanted a porn star's autograph. What do you talk to them about? It's like, oh, remember that time? Yeah, I'm not going to go into details. But it's like, remember, in Anal Blasters 3? I'm not going to...
Now, people listening. Maybe only 2 people, but...
Like, that's not a conversation I want to have.
Anymore.
Unless she wants to show me how she did certain things, I really don't care.
And to be fair, some of them...
You don't want to see that.
No.
No. You really don't.
There's a used car, and then there's the ones at the junkyard.
But yeah, so I mean, they had a lot more room. They had some pretty good guests, though. They had excuse me, I was just talking to my beer lady. They had Tasha Yar and Deanna Troy and I always want to call him Charles Barkley. No, it's
Reg Barkley,
yeah, Reginald Barkley
Lieutenant Reginald Barkley.
from
also known as Howling Mad Murdoch.
from the A Team. But all from Star Trek Next Generation. They were there. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and they were all really awesome to get to talk to and meet.
I'm trying to remember who else was there.
Commander Riker was supposed to be there.
Yeah,
Yes, Jonathan Frakes was supposed to be there and had to cancel.
Yep.
Possibly to campaign for directing the next Star Trek movie.
Honestly, I'm all for that. But
they had Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner, the $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman.
They had Hulk Hogan there first day. They had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall there.
They had the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Yep. Well, excuse me, I keep coughing on the air here. I think the Dorito's trying to kill me.
Spreading your germs throughout the internet.
Who is Jesus?
Nobody knows.
Oh, anyway, he's that guy who's just hanging around.
That guy.
Sorry about that.
He's hanging around and he's cross about it.
Oh.
And there go our last two
We're
listeners.
sorry.
Anyway, suddenly the Westboro Baptist Church is going to hate us.
They already do.
Yeah, they don't even know our name, but they already hate us, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, feelings mutual.
But anyway, back to Megafest. All good guests. A lot of great cosplays this year.
Yeah, there were a lot of really, really great cosplays. I like the Elsa Sub-Zero mashup that one particular cosplayer did. There was a fantastic Rick Grimes.
Yes, there was a very good Rick Grimes. I'm trying to remember who else there was. There was a whole bunch of good ones, but I feel like it was so many weeks ago. I have to refresh my memory. Stalling music.
And if the religious humor didn't do it, there go our last listeners.
Of course, the TARDIS was there, which was awesome. TARDIS is always
And a
awesome.
Dalek.
Yes, it's always great to see sexy.
There's some great Stormtrooper. There's actually a picture of Dan and I with the Stormtrooper. Really awesome.
Dan kind of upset him, but he lived because that guy had poor aim.
Oh, these guys. The guys who were dressed up as the A-Team were awesome.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you saw them. You weren't there the second day.
No, I wasn't there the second day, so I probably didn't see them.
Yeah. There was a group that had dressed up as the entire classic A-Team. They were amazing.
Yeah. Really?
Is that McDaniel
really
up at the
accurate,
front
too.
there? New England's Mr. T?
I don't know. No, here's a very nice shot of a invisible woman, but I can see her.
Yeah, I can totally see her. She's not getting the invisible part across.
Belle from Beauty and the Beast, our booth. Cyclops and Phoenix, very cool. I want to talk about this one.
Yes.
There was a guy dressed as the Max there, and I've never seen a Max costume at a concert, a convention.
I've never seen a Max costume at a concert.
Yeah,
No. But if you go looking on the internet, there's only one Max costume I have ever found on the internet. I found plenty of pictures of them.
yeah.
And for those who don't know, the Max was an MTV series and a comic book, big in the 90s. MTV's Oddities. Some of you will remember, some of you will not.
But there was the Max,
Some of you weren't
Aeon.
born yet.
There was
Aeon
the Max,
Flux,
Aeon
possibly.
Flux, and the Head,
The Head, which was very weird.
which is some alien who lives in a dude's head.
Yeah.
But the Max was this big dude in a purple and yellow suit.
Difficult to explain. What was it? 6 episodes? No.
No, it was like,
Nine
no,
episodes.
it was more than that. 4, 8, 12.
Well, they were only
I
like
think
15. They were only
6.
15
I
minutes
think there
long.
was 16 episodes, but yeah, they were only 15 minutes long.
Yeah, but you should be able to find this. If you've never seen it, go check it out. It's really cool.
It's basically about this guy in this big purple costume, doesn't know who he is, and he keeps transporting himself, in his mind anyway, between two different worlds. In one world, it's the real world. He has this friend of his named Julie, she's a social worker, who's his friend. In this other world, it's called the Outback, which is kind of like Australia, but a little different, where all these weird creatures, and Julie's this princess that he's trying to protect. And it's basically them trying to figure out what's real and what isn't. It's a really messed up show and a messed up comic, but it's a good read and a good watch. Check it out. It's creepy.
And the comic is not just some like random underground comic. It's done by Sam Keith, who some people know. Sam Keith has worked for DC. He's worked on Batman. He's worked on a couple of DC titles, and his artwork is amazing.
You really?
Yes. But
art's cut off.
Oh, it's okay. It's a black rug, and it's a clear liquid. So,
but yeah, go check it out. If you never heard of the Max, go check it out.
yeah, it's a really good. It's an awesome show. There was a Dalek there, which was awesome, but I think those are the same people who bring the TARDIS with them.
Oh, indeedy.
Yes, and Dee Dee.
Actually, the Dalek, I believe, is a different group.
Really?
I got to talk to the dad. He was dressed as the 12th Doctor on day one.
Oh yes,
and,
I do remember them.
The Dalek costume, it actually started as a Halloween costume, and then they wanted to get more use out of it, so they made some upgrades on it. And now it goes around to a lot of the conventions. That's awesome.
I was kind of bummed though, because I know Gina B cosplay was there, and I never found her.
Yeah, I never saw Gina.
I saw pictures. I know she was there.
Saturday, but I never saw her.
Yeah, either days I never saw.
I didn't get over to talk to Destiny Nicholson was there as well.
I did see Destiny. She was walking around. She wasn't in costume when I saw her, but at least I know she was there. And I saw pictures. I know Gina B was there. I never actually physically saw her. I was actually bummed last year. Just before I even knew who she was. Last year she was there dressed as Zool. And I sent her a message like, "Where were you? I was talking to my buddy about how I've never seen a good Zool costume, and you were there, and I never saw you." And she does an amazing job with her Zool. She does an amazing job with everything. She's actually, if you ever see the Justice League War Wonder Woman, she does a cosplay of her, and I swear to God, if you put the action figure next to her picture, she could be her. I mean, she just does an amazing job.
Nice.
Yeah. Dee Dee was there. I've been seeing a lot of Dee Dees.
This was actually the same, I believe the same DDs that were at Rhode Island Comic Con.
Oh, not this year, the year before.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, I looked that up. It was different. It was a
Okay.
different duo, because this was Misa Cosplay, Emily from Misa Cosplay.
In case you don't know, we're not just sitting there going, Dee Dee! Dee Dee is these twin girls who are supposedly the daughters of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Batman Beyond Return to the Joker.
Yeah, I don't know if they were in any other episodes or anything, but
And I love me the D's.
And the duo at Super Mega Fest was Misa Cosplay and Lily the Bunny Cosplay.
Okay.
Were the two done up as Dee Dee.
There was another guy there. It was pretty cool. He was dressed as Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And it's funny because I went to take his picture and I stopped and my wife said, "You're not going to charge us $65 for this, are you?"
Oh.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was there. I guess.
No, he was very fair. It was only $40.
But I guess it was just $40 just to walk in the room, just to see him.
Oh no, I was talking about the guy dressed as Hollywood Hogan.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Hulk Hogan was there. But I guess just to.
Yeah, they had him segregated from everybody else.
Yeah, just to walk in the room and see him, it was like $60. Then it was like $45 for a picture or something like that.
But to be fair,
or the autograph, and then.
To be fair, how much of that was him and how much of that was with the convention?
I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to sit here and say Hulk Hogan's a bastard for doing this, but it's just kind of one of those. Wow, it just seemed like all around to get his picture and autograph and everything. It just seemed like.
I think it was more the convention.
Yeah.
Than himself. Simply because at New York Comic Con he wasn't segregated from everybody. I mean, Sylvester Stallone had been, and Sigourney Weaver and Chloe Moretz were all kind of segregated from the rest of the guests that were there. But Hulk Hogan was right there with everybody else.
Mm. Yeah. But I guess Jimmy Hart was down with him. But Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were actually up on the main floor with us.
Yep.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Super Shredder,
yeah, or the Outsiders. I would love to get like the old WCW Championship with the NWO on it and get all three of them to sign it, like the original or New World Order. Like that's how it all started with those three.
Yeah.
So that would be amazing. But excuse me.
Hey, refresh my memory.
Okay.
Wasn't there a black and red NWO belt?
Yeah. I don't remember if they ever spray painted that the red or not.
I get the feeling like they did, but I'm not positive on that either. Yeah,
because I know in '99 they reformed, and the red and black NWO became like the main NWO.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know Hulk Hogan got the championship back. I don't remember if he painted the belt red or not. I honestly don't. That was '99. That was like 15 years ago. I have no idea.
Long time ago.
In a wrestling ring far away.
Long time ago.
Back when wrestling was still interesting. And that was starting the downfall of WCW, but wrestling was still better than it was today.
Yeah.
So, there's also some jackass and his girlfriend dressed as, Deadpool and Harley Quinn.
Nice, thank you.
Wait a minute. I know that coat. That looks like Budget Deadpool.
Yep. Budget Deadpool made his premiere, and nobody noticed.
Yeah,
Kind of like this podcast.
Oh, you know what? I have more hopes for the podcast. That's cool. I also saw there was a Doctor Doom with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I did get a chance to see him. I didn't get the chance to talk to him or get a picture with him, though.
Yeah, it's cool because he almost looked like he was wearing like an actual suit of armor with the cape on and everything. I want to see a Deadpool with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Me too.
Well, if you haven't seen, you go to wherever you are in the country. Around here, it's Newbury Comics or FYE or whatever. Go to the local comic book shop. They just released the Infinity Gauntlet plastic bank, and I want one.
Me too.
Yeah, because
Nobody's going to use it as a bank.
You can take the bottom off, put your fist in there, and it's like, yeah!
That's my next project.
Infinity War.
That's Budget Deadpool's next project.
But I mean, Megafest, I almost hate to say it, Megafest was actually a little more organized than Rhode Island Comic Con. And that's something I thought I would never say.
But it's not that hard to believe this year.
No, this year it was just a mess. And either my brother's having a stroke or...
I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
good.
It was a Dorito trying to kill him.
Yes.
Oh, I know that feeling. I've had one that's been working on me for about 20 minutes now. It's digging, but... But yeah, honestly, but Megafest, it was a great show. We actually made a decent amount of money, too. Unfortunately, it didn't go into the let's open a store fund. I had to restock because we were running low on stuff at that point. But I have a lot of new stuff, hopefully. And that's the other thing, too, is Megafest has 2 shows now. Yep. They're doing another show in April in...
I want to say it's in Middleborough?
Marlboro.
Is it Marlboro?
I believe so. Yeah,
there's a borough in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I was going to say, not Middleborough. Nothing happens in Middleborough.
Yeah, there's a rotary that I don't like. But yeah, they're having 2 shows this year. I don't know who the guests are supposed to be. We're planning on being there. We're gonna try to have a booth there. Also, Terracon is coming back next year. I'm actually kind of excited about that because I had a good time last year. But I don't know. Other than that, not a lot happened at Megafest. It was a great show. I had a great time. Like I actually might even do it next year, but
yeah, I was a little disappointed in the fact that there were no cosplay panels.
Yeah,
because they didn't seem to really make much of a big deal about having their cosplayers this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was some motivation behind that.
Well, it looks like they were trying to cut back. Like I said, there were no porn stars there this year, so I almost feel like they were trying to re-evaluate their priorities. And I'm not saying cosplay isn't a priority, but I feel like they might have put the cosplayers in with the porn stars. Kind of like, okay, well, we can have the cosplayers, but I don't want to focus on cosplayers because they've had a lot of problems in the past with room, basically.
Yeah, that's very true. They've had a lot of difficulties with the space because they try to cram everybody in.
Yeah.
Didn't seem quite as much like that this year.
No, it didn't. Let's hope it's a sign of things to come in the future for Megafest. But
yeah, the only reason I bring it up is it's just something I always look forward to is the cosplay panels.
Well, I like the cosplayers in general, you know. And there was actually a comic book artist who said, I don't understand why cosplayers are such a big part of
I believe
convention.
that was Pat Broderick was the most recent one. There have been a few.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, it's a waste of space. I don't know exactly what he said, but it's like, why are we talking crap about cosplayers? Cosplayers, and cosplayers.
His main opinion was that cosplayers bring nothing to a convention, and that's just completely untrue.
Cosplayers are fans, just like everybody else, who take it to a different level. And I feel like if you're an artist or a comic book writer, like let's say, and I know that he's probably not even still around anymore. You're the guy who created Superman, and you go to a convention and there are hundreds of people dressed as Superman. How is that not important to you? How do you?
These are people expressing their love for something that you created.
Exactly.
When you get right down to it, they're the ultimate fan.
They are.
They've gone past simply liking the character to aspiring to be the character.
Without cosplay, conventions would not be as big today as they are.
No, in fact, Spencer Doe actually kind of went on a little bit of a rant about it, and I think he was completely justified to do it. And it basically came down to, look, if you want this to go back to 100 sweaty nerds in a hotel basement, fine, but you know, that's pretty much what's going to happen if you kick out the cosplayers and kick out the actors that these people all want to come and see. You know, I mean, yeah, you're going to have a lot of people dressed as characters from Walking Dead or Sons of Anarchy, or in my case, obviously anybody dressed like Doctor Who. I run into myself dozens of times at a convention. It's just that these things
hasn't blown up yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, we use the Paradox machine to keep everything all right.
There you go.
Oh, the one created by the Master?
No, we blew that one up. It's a different one.
Ah.
Actually stole it from Emily Pankhurst. Cheeky woman.
But well, Megafest was actually a really fun show. We had a good time there. And
But I do just want to say that you're to even entertain the idea that the cosplayers have no use and that they should limit or get rid of them. That you might as well just close your convention.
I overheard a conversation happening at Megafest with one of the other vendors, older guy, and he was talking about how I don't understand the whole, like, you had these guys dressed as Deadpool, and they were, making these weird noises. I guess that's something Deadpool does, and blah blah blah. Like talking crap about the cosplayers. I was like, guys, it's 2014. This is what the conventions are now. You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm not a 50-year-old guy who's been in the comic book business for 30 years. I'm in my 30s. I love it. I love the cosplays. I love everything about these conventions. I always have a great time. Sometimes they get a little crowded. Sometimes you want to punch some people in the head. But for the most part, I have a blast at these. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they don't stop selling tickets until the fire marshal shows up and says, "Shut it down."
Yeah, I know, right?
But think, and that based on what that dude you heard said.
I'll drop the mic there.
Yeah, but like, all right, our resident professional cosplayer here. When you do the Doctor, you get into the character. You become the Doctor as much as you can.
That's part of the fun, is just being so into the cosplay itself, being interested in the character.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's very important. And at the same time, you're paying service to the people that created these characters or created these episodes, because you're basically saying, I like what you did the best.
Yeah.
I want to be this version of Deadpool from this comic, or
Yeah.
I want to be this Superman from this comic. It's a really big deal, or it should be a big deal. And to say that cosplayers bring nothing, I mean, they're artists in their own right.
They are.
Whether they're making their costumes or making the props to go with their costumes, or both.
And the guy Maestro was just talking about was talking about the Deadpool guys. Now, anybody who knows the character, I'm a huge fan of Deadpool. One of the reasons I started.
You are?
One of the reasons I started the whole budget Deadpool thing. But
What?
Deadpool he's crazy. He's a expressive character, and so you probably are not gonna walk around the convention dressed as Deadpool and and acting like Eeyore.
Yeah, no. When I feel like if you put that costume on, you are basically agreeing to act like a buffoon.
Yeah, basically.
Because that's what people, for one thing, that's what people want to see out of somebody dressed as Deadpool. They don't want to see Deadpool walking around just being like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up?" They want to see Deadpool
Thanks for
photobombing
noticing
people.
me.
Like, "Oh, those people are taking a picture. I'll be right back." Jumping behind them, you know.
Well, I remember I never did this at a convention, but a few years ago for Halloween, I dressed as Jack Sparrow. And you can ask my wife or ask my brother here. Whenever I'm in the Jack Sparrow costume, I'm full out Jack Sparrow. Like, I walk like him. I do the hand moves. I talk like him. I'm into it. I'm like, no, I'm not dressed as Jack Sparrow. I am Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. I mean, I've done entire conventions with a British accent simply because I'm dressed as the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because again, it's hard not to. You're in that mindset, like, I am this character. I am this person.
It's almost like you're playing a role. You know what I mean? And it's like it's the same thing with like Halloween. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't want to I don't want to just look like the character. I want to be this person. Like if I'm dressed as the Joker, I want to be the Joker. I want to do my best Mark Hamill impression or my best Heath Ledger impression. I want to have green hair. I want people to think I was beat up by Batman and thrown into a vat of acid. You know what I mean?
That's kind of one of the things I use to gauge how into a costume I am. If I'm wearing a costume and I'm being myself, which is really introverted, that's not the costume for me. When I throw on the Doctor suit, throw on the long coat, I become the Doctor.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, when you're dressed as the Doctor, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about when you speak.
I speak really, really fast.
Yeah.
I talk really fast, hope something good happens, and I take the credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
When I did Dean Winchester at Rhode Island Comic Con, I was really into that character. I had the Dean Winchester swagger in the voice.
Yeah.
And now I know who that is.
Yeah, I know. And now that I know who it is.
I kept looking around for my baby. All the cars they had there, no Impala.
Oh,
that is a nice car.
And it's like you've watched Supernatural, and I know you've been starting to. My wife's been getting into it. I watched a few episodes, it's hard for me. I can only watch so many series at once. I don't know if I'll ever get completely caught up on Supernatural, but I'll either catch a few episodes here and there, or I'll be playing Minecraft or whatever and listening to it in the other room. So I get it. I know what it's about, and I understand enough. And I know there's people out there who, if you do listen to this, you're gonna be like, well, you know what, you're not a true fan, go to hell, and that's fine.
That's another thing that's been said about cosplayers, though. You know, you talk to somebody and you're like, they're dressed as Doctor Strange, and you're like, oh, what's your favorite issue? And they're like, well, I've actually never read it.
Yeah.
They have some sort of connection with that character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an actual example of something that happened. It came out of one of the interviews. I don't know exactly which story it was, but it was that type of situation where somebody was like, oh, I really like this character. That's really cool. They're making this movie. I want to do this costume. They really don't know that much about the character.
Yeah.
That's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's kind of becoming an issue in some instances. You have some cosplayers saying, well, if you're not in this to become a cosplayer full-time, you have no business doing it. You have other cosplayers saying, if you're in this to do this as your job, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. The most important thing is it's supposed to be fun.
Basically.
You're supposed to enjoy doing this. It's not necessarily supposed to be your career. It's really more just like a really fun hobby.
Well, it's like on Halloween when a kid comes to your door dressed as Batman, and you say to him, oh, what's your favorite Batman? Oh, I've only seen the new one. You can't... And I understand
no candy for you. Go away.
Swear to me. And I understand there is a difference because they're just a kid, but it's kind of the same thing. Like if somebody, like your girlfriend was dressed as Harley Quinn.
Yes.
I don't know how much she knows about Harley Quinn. I know she knows enough that she likes the character, but I don't feel like I need to go and drill her. Well, why are you dressed as this one? Well, why? What?
Well, she was dressed as the Gods Among Us.
Yep.
Harley Quinn, all right, with the face on the shirt and everything, the leather jacket. Her knowledge of Harley Quinn basically extends to Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, or Deadpool. I've only read a couple of the comics.
Yeah, but you've played the game.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I want to use this as a good example, but we've all seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I don't want to talk about that.
I would rather not use that as an example.
But I've seen him in, they use in an episode of Amazing Spider-Man. Like I said, I played the game.
Lasers out of his eyes.
No, they come out of his ass.
Oh, I love that. One of the things, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 there, one of the things that, I beat Wolverine, I didn't even need laser eyes to do it. My favorite, I saw what you were talking about, where he takes the health bar and beats his opponent with. I love that. I just love Deadpool. He's one of the best characters.
I finally got because I had a few problems with the game when I started it, but I got it to work and everything, and I've been basically just Deadpool and two other characters, and I have heard it all. He gets beaten. You pressed the wrong button! Whenever he wins, though, he's got a couple of different ones, but I love the one where he goes to the camera, he's just like, you were recording that, right? What? You weren't recording it?
I just love, and that's what I love about Deadpool is, if he's in a comic, he knows he's in a comic. If he's in a game, he knows he's in a game. Movie, he knows, you know what I mean? It's all, and that's what's so great about the character. I can't, other than like a Looney Tunes character, I really can't name any other characters who are like that.
You're probably wondering why the red suit.
It's so, bad guys can't see me, Glee.
Let's hope these guys are wearing their brown pants.
I can't wait for the Deadpool movie. I don't even care what it's rated. PG-13, RG. I can't wait to see it because it's going to be amazing. And yes, from what I've heard, it may not be 100%, but it's 99.95% sure. Ryan Reynolds is our Deadpool. And if you don't
Ryan Reynolds is our Deadpool.
If you don't like that, screw you. But you know something? Speaking of good or bad casting choices, here's one I want to talk about. And that is...
Would it be Deadshot in the Suicide Squad?
Yes, it is. It'll be Will Smith as Deadshot in the Suicide Squad movie. And it's like, and don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Will Smith.
But he's not right for Deadshot.
He's not Deadshot. I'll give him a chance. That's the thing about me. I'll always give him a chance. I'll give Batfleck a chance. I'll give everybody a chance. However, I think they could have done better with Deadshot.
Yeah, I don't feel like Will Smith is really the perfect guy for the job. I think he'll probably do a good job.
Yeah.
I think he feels like he has to or like he should.
Yeah.
And that's good. I like the fact that he has that kind of respect for the fans of the work. You know, he really does put an effort in rather than just being like, hey, this paycheck.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I know Tom Hardy's going to be in it. And, oh God, what else?
Not playing Bane.
No.
You guys probably already covered this, but Will Smith.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
I mean, come on.
Stop
I
falling
like Will
asleep,
Smith,
Art.
but
I like I said, I'll save judgment. I'll see the movie. I did hear a rumor though, and this is I'm actually kind of excited about because yes, Jared Leto is going to play the Joker. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I will give him the chance. I think he's a better choice than some. But the rumor or the way it sounds to me is that Joker is going to be the main villain of this movie. It's going to be the Suicide Squad versus the Joker, and that's got me excited. And you got Harley Quinn.
I didn't hear this.
You didn't hear this?
No.
I also heard a rumor this might be the Joker's origin story. I take that for what it's worth.
Which one?
Yeah, I know, right? But I
Joker
think
has more origin stories than a Spider-Man movie.
oh snap.
Oh.
But I feel like I don't want. See, they did the Assault on Arkham movie. This was the Suicide Squad, and it was the Suicide Squad breaking into Arkham, and then you had Harley trying to kind of stuck between her loyalty to the Joker and loyalty to the Squad, and blah 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 blah. I feel like you might see something similar as long as it's different. I don't want to see I don't want to see Assault on Arkham the movie. You know what I mean? But oh my God, I can't remember.
What I remember about the movie,
Yeah,
especially Harley.
we already discussed that in like 2 or 3 podcasts before.
We discussed that in 2 or 3 podcasts.
But
Hey, remember that time in Assault on Arkham?
oh,
Do you remember that?
Harley Quinn's deities? Yes, I am a guy. Yes, I am a pervert. Deal with it. I'm a married man, so I can be perverted if I want to be. Anyway, but yeah, the Joker is going to be the main antagonist from the way it sounds. I hope I use that word correctly.
Sounds?
Sounds? I'm actually real excited for it. I know it's coming out in 2016, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Next
but,
year is just going to be a good year for movies.
Yeah, it is. Well, so I think 2015 is too. Actually, now let's get into some trailers that I've been seeing. And let's start off with the one that's probably coming out the soonest, Terminator Genisys.
Here we go again.
I saw the trailer, and I have to admit,
Talk to the hand.
I saw the trailer, and I have to admit, it looks better than I was expecting. Basically, from the way it sounds, or the way it looks, they're Star Trekking this. Basically, oh yeah, everything happened.
Lens flares.
Everything. Oh, Skynet lens flares, that'd be great. But everything that happened in the first 4 movies.
We have to move quickly. The Terminator's blinded by the lens flare.
But basically, the way it sounds, the first 4 movies happened, unfortunately, the way that they happened. And what they're doing here is Kyle Reese goes back to protect Sarah Connor, like he did originally. But when he gets there,
Like you do.
When he gets there, things are different. Like, Sarah Connor is not this scared little girl. She's already this warrior who's basically been raised by a Terminator. And now he's like, what the hell's going on? So basically, like I said, what they're doing is Star Trek, and they're making an alternate universe, basically, by the looks of it. I'm excited. One, because Arnold Schwarzenegger's back. I don't care how old he is. He's the Terminator.
Yeah.
He's back.
It's the only way to explain why the Terminator looks as old as he does.
It is.
He went back even farther. Was waiting.
But they explained this. You know something? Anybody who's going to get confused about the mess up in the timeline or mess up in the story, don't worry. Matt Smith's in it.
Yes, it's a timey-wimey thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
the doctor's there.
Tell me what? I have no idea where he gets this.
I'm also very excited about that. I'm just excited to see Matt Smith in something else. You know, I mean, he's not our doctor anymore.
But if you're going to get stuck in a role, Doctor Who's nothing to sneeze at.
But yeah, so Terminator looks interesting. I'll go see it. I feel like there's very few movies I won't go see. Even if they look bad, I'm like, you know what? I still got to go through, pay the money, sit through it, give it a fair chance.
We sat through Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Now let's never speak of that again.
I actually watched that like the other day. I was like, maybe it wasn't as bad as I remember. And the funny thing is, it was actually worse.
Oh yeah, it was so much worse.
Yeah,
It's like going back and trying to watch like the second Resident Evil movie, and you're like, it wasn't that bad when I watched it. Wait, yeah, it was.
It was better than the third one though, when it took place in a desert the whole
yeah,
time.
that doesn't take much.
At least it had Nemesis in it.
But I feel like we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
Hey!
Not you. We need to talk about the Star Wars trailer. I love how nobody has anything to say about it.
Where do you want to begin?
Well,
The public outcry over the fact that stormtroopers can be black, or
yeah,
the,
we're not
the-
racist or anything.
the broadsword lightsaber that people seem to be really, really against for some reason?
Really, really against, but everybody's drawing it.
Here's the thing.
I'm drooling over it.
I saw the trailer. I was like, okay, that was nifty. You saw X-Wing fighters, you saw TIE fighters, you saw stormtroopers, you saw the Millennium Falcon. Great. It didn't tell me anything. All I see is all these ships flying around. I was like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of ship
think
files.
about the teaser for episode 1. I mean, that was one of the droid transports coming over a hill. That didn't tell us anything either.
But it was just one of those, okay. So there's going to be a bunch of ships flying around.
Coming.
There's going to be a bunch of ships flying around. Okay, the first 6 movies had all that. There's going to be a lightsaber with it looks like a broadsword. Okay, they're trying to change it up. Okay, the Millennium Falcon's in it with a new deflector dish.
Well, I would assume you can replace those.
Yeah, I know. It looked a little
80
different.
years, you'd think. It's probably been replaced 2 or 3 times.
But it's just
17.
it was a teaser, but it didn't tell me anything. It just basically what it seemed to be was, let's show off our special effects.
I draw your attention to the episode 3 trailer.
Oh, man. Lord Vader.
Oh, man. For 10 minutes.
Yes, Master. Rise. And that's not even happening in the movie. You know what I hate about trailers sometimes? When they show scenes in the trailer that aren't in the movie.
Yeah, those scenes that don't make the final cut.
Yeah.
But don't worry, they'll be in the deleted scenes when it's released on Blu-ray.
The one that pops in my mind the most, Batman Forever. Two-Face. If the Bat wants to play, we'll play. Wasn't in the movie, and it was one of the biggest scenes in the trailer. But since then, that's a long time ago, but since then I've noticed that happens a lot.
Very long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, am I excited about a new Star Wars movie? Yeah, kinda.
Am I apprehensive about a new Star Wars movie?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
After the last time we got excited about a new Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
and then we held out hope that the next one would be better,
Yeah, I know.
and then we held out hope that the next one would be better, and then it kind of was.
They got
In
a
a
little
way.
better as they went. Like
Sort of.
the first one was the worst one, and I don't mean A New Hope. I mean Phantom Menace. The first one was the worst out of those 3 movies.
Well, when you think about it, it was the one where everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. You have to make things get worse.
I mean, it was like, Baby Vader! Ah! It's like, who is this kid? I mean, some of the dialogue in that movie just made me cringe. You know, like, what?
Yeah, but the sad part is
Most
that
of it was
Jake
Jar Jar's.
Lloyd had more chemistry on screen with Natalie Portman than Hayden Christensen did in the following 2 movies.
Well, if you're opposite Natalie Portman, even when at that age, you're like, hey, I don't know how it works yet, but...
But Jake Lloyd hit on her.
Yeah, he did.
Hayden Christensen was just a whiny brat for 2 movies. Oh, you're not putting me in the suit yet? Oh, well, I'm gonna be all pouty. Wooden.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
I love being a turtle.
I knew. I was waiting for one of you.
Too bad the Shredder can't say the same. Sorry. Continue.
I'll go see it, but to me, it falls into the same category as episode 1.
Epitude?
Yeah, Epitude. Episode 1, 2, and
I
half
hate
of
Epitude.
episode 3, or 3/4 of episode 3. It's Star Wars with no Darth Vader, because he's been dead for 80 years.
Why do you keep saying 80 years?
Because that's what it's supposed to. The first thing, when they released it, they said the first thing is that Star Wars Episode 7 takes place 80 years after Return of the Jedi.
But there's no
Is
such...
it so they can have 6.5 at some point?
But they have... Well, then again, this is a galaxy far away. I don't know how well people age. But, I mean, they had the original cast in there, and they were all in their 20s and 30s, plus 80. It's not looking too good.
Luke Skywalker's looking like Yoda.
Oh, speaking of Luke Skywalker, I am super excited because he is going to be in The Flash.
Yeah, I saw that.
as I can't think of his name.
The Trickster?
The same character. Yeah, the same character he played in the original.
You're kidding.
No.
I saw something on Facebook. I didn't realize that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Just hope he doesn't look like that in the new Flash.
I mean, nothing against. Believe me, I love Mark Hamill. Will, he's always my favorite. But is this going to be the geriatric Trickster?
He's not that old. Plus, as long as he has the voice, nothing beats. I remember when I saw I almost said Bill and Ted Strike Back. Chainsaw Bob Strike Back when he came out as Cockknocker, and he's like, "You thought I'd never find your precious blunt game." I was like, "That's the Joker!" Oh, speaking of him,
You know, how did he get that name? That's a funny
story. Bam! I was watching the Ultimate Spider-Man the other day, and there was this guy in there called Nightmare, I think his name was. He was a Dream Master kind of guy, and I'm listening to his voice. I was like, wait a minute. I look at my wife and be like, that's the Joker. I go pull up my phone. I was like, yes, it's Mark Hamill. Of course, he's older now. But I've said this in the past. If you listen to Joker, like in the Batman animated series, then you listen to him in the Arkham games, you can tell he's older, but the Joker voice is one of those things I think has gotten better with age. Like in the games, he's like, wow, it has that must to it, that rasp to it that just makes it amazing.
Yes, I love the Posh Gravelly thing.
What? You're talking Dr. Gibberish again.
That happens.
No, okay.
Like forgetting my name.
What is your name?
Groot?
You are Groot. We are
Groot.
Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, speaking of...
Stop that.
Da-da-da-da-da. That's from Mario.
Nobody was speaking about it.
Well, I heard earlier today they're making another Mario movie, but it will be animated. I know Bob Hoskins is gone. That kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
I saw a
that makes me
magazine
sad.
recently that was talking about all the people who
We've
the actors
lost.
we lost this year. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Shirley Temple. Oh, was it Shirley? Yeah, Shirley Temple. We lost Shirley Temple. We lost Harold Ramis, Bob Hoskins,
Robin Williams. Joan Rivers.
Yep. It's just been a depressing year.
We should do a tribute show.
We need tribute music.
Oh, look at me. Heart.
What was
See if Deadpool's got anything.
What was I singing before the show? Oh.
Dun 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 dun
dun dun dun dun. Okay, never mind. That was Duke Nukem, or a bad cover of Duke Nukem.
Very bad.
Here's one more trailer that I saw that I'm excited about. Jurassic World.
Oddly, the most...
Star-Lord with raptors?
Yes, Star-Lord with raptors. And that's exactly what sold me on this movie. There's a scene at the end of the trailer, and I'm not going to say spoiler alert, because you know what? Screw you, it's a trailer. He goes into the woods
If you haven't seen it, watch it.
He goes into the woods to hunt down this hybrid dinosaur that they decided to make, which makes for a great movie plot, with 4 raptors that apparently he raised, which look at him as one of their own, and are hunting this thing down with him. And that is amazing.
Well, they had to do something very, very cool because another Jurassic Park movie is about as smart as the 3rd version of Star Wars Special Edition.
Well, I was kind of
What
bummed.
more can we put in?
I was kind of bummed because in the movie, the park is called. It's on Isla Nublar. You know, they've worked out all the kinks. They have a working park, but it's not called Jurassic Park anymore. It's called Jurassic World. Now, that bums me out, yes. But if you look at it from their point of view, like in the universe of the Jurassic Park, everybody knows about what happened in Jurassic Park. So, if you want to get this park open, you probably want to change the name a little bit so you don't have that stigma of Jurassic Park.
Very true.
I don't think changing One World would have gotten me anywhere near that island, but...
No. But it starts off with like, oh, if anything chases you, run. And I'm like, that's not funny. But I heard something interesting, though. They didn't show them in the trailer, but on the website they show a picture of a Tyrannosaur that's in the park. And here's the interesting part of it. Thank you, Soundwave. This T-Rex has scars on the side of his head and neck.
It's not the one the other one killed. Brian, let it
No,
go.
no, it's not the one the Spinosaurus killed. But they're leading us to believe that this is the same one that killed those raptors at the end of the first movie.
Oh.
That it didn't die after they left. They were able to capture it, and now it's fully grown because they said that they made this weird hybrid thing, but it's and I don't know why they would call it its natural predator because it's a hybrid, but its natural predator is still the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It may be fast, it may be good, but it doesn't stand a snowball chance in hell against the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Because the T-Rex is everybody's natural
Yes.
predator. It's extinct, and it's still our natural predator.
Yeah. T-Rex was always my favorite, and now they're saying, well, we might have had feathers. Screw you and your feathers, okay? That's all I have to say about that. Screw you and your feathers. But I think Star-Lord said it best, Chris Pratt, in the theater, because he said, so you guys just made a dinosaur, huh? Probably wasn't a good idea. Great plot, right?
Chris Pratt would be good at CinemaSins.
Yeah, you know. So, but Star-Lord's in it, so I'm sold. So, but yeah, that's it. Most of these trailers you can honestly check out on onthehuntcomics.com. They're all posted. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I updated all of them. I don't know if Star Wars is on there yet. I know Jurassic World is on there. Oh no, I think I'm pretty sure Star Wars, Jurassic World on there. Terminator's not up there yet, but I'm sure you can find it. It's called Terminator Genisys with a Y. You can figure it out.
If you can't find it, don't worry. The internet gets easier after you use it for the first day.
Yes, it does. But something else I heard though. I feel like we're jumping around today, but I have a lot to talk about. Toho is making a new Godzilla movie in Japan for 2016.
But they just made a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, well, yes.
But they didn't make it in Japan.
And what that means, people, is you're gonna have a new Godzilla movie with probably bad lip reading
And the rubber suit.
and a rubber suit.
I like the rubber suit.
Everything we loved about Godzilla growing up. And don't get me wrong, I love the new one. He's all computer. I loved it. It's a great movie. If you don't like it, bite me. Great. And basically what this means is we're getting another Rubber Man and Rubber Suit Godzilla movie. Probably won't see it in theaters over here, but that's fine. We'll get it. Just like Final Wars, just like Godzilla 2000, Godzilla 2001. Some annoying woman interrupting us.
Does anybody want a beer?
No, we're all set. Oh, I'm all set anyway.
I could use one.
Actually, I could use a drink. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thank you, beautiful and not at least the least bit annoying woman.
Yes.
Brian gets beer. Not that one.
We're the same person.
All right, what kind do you want?
Anything reds. Yes, I drink reds. If you don't like that, bite me.
He's angry today.
I am.
He's an angry elf.
I will never apologize for who I am. Child
Yeah,
molesters
because-
should, though.
Yeah, because most of us usually have to apologize for you being the way you are. I'm sorry. He just came along with us.
I used to have to make an apology every Sunday. Because every Saturday night we would all get together, go on parties and drink and have a good time. And then every Sunday I'd be apologizing for something I did.
Were you apologizing for never interviewing Smog the Terrible?
That's awesome. Well, Smog the Terrible wasn't really around, at least not in movie form. Dan, have you watched that? On Smog from Hobbit
I know who Smog is.
was interviewed by...
He's not in Walking Dead, so I've seen him.
And he's not on wrestling either.
Yeah.
He was on the Colbert Report. Not Benedict Cumberbatch, Smog. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like.
This I gotta see.
Yes, I watched it earlier. I thought
know
it was hysterical.
I know
Thank
Stephen
you, Dan.
Colbert, and his office is not his studio set is not that big.
Well, he smashed through a wall.
Yeah, he knocked down a wall.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was pretty good. He came in.
He did.
He was like, I'm not gonna be what did he say? Something about not gonna be second fiddle to that hack. Cumberbatch.
fiddle to that hack Cumberbatch. Speaking of Cumberbatch,
Cumberbatch is our new Doctor Strange.
not who, Strange.
Yes.
How strange.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
This
I
guy.
quit.
Oh. Yes, but Benedict Cumberbatch is our new Doctor Strange. New Godzilla movie coming out. I'm super excited about the Godzilla movie. I'm sorry.
We don't have a script, if anybody's wondering.
Yeah, this actually might be a shorter podcast than usual, but you know what? That's fine because
The last one was kind of longer than usual.
it was, and I feel like we did. There were some things I really wanted to discuss, mainly the CM Punk
I
stuff.
was just gonna say.
I wanted to talk about Megafest because you always talk about conventions. We already talked about Star Wars, Terminator. CM
We're done.
Punk.
Let's go home.
Oh. Well, we talked about the Suicide Squad and how Will Smith is a horrible choice for Deadshot.
Okay, Will Smith, bad choice for Deadshot, but I just want to see Harley.
Yes. I wonder if well, it depends. Will we have that same scene we saw in the Arkham movie? I don't want to see Will Smith, but
No.
because I'm a sick, evil bastard. That's why. Oh, I'm a man and I have needs. Anyway,
There go our last two listeners.
You know, they've left so many times, but you know what? They keep coming back.
they do.
I know.
We didn't get a lot of hits on the last one. The older ones keep getting hits though. So, honestly, people, you know what? We do this every month. Why? Honestly, I enjoy it. I'm pretty sure you do. You guys do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like talking nerdy
I
stuff.
keep showing up.
Yeah, I mean, this is just us getting together every month, talking about what's going on in the world of nerd, world of conventions.
The possibility that Sony might sue Bill Murray.
Oh, I did hear about that because if he doesn't sign on to be in the third Ghostbusters movie,
If you won't be in this movie, we'll sue you.
yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck with
Okay, but you know what? That brings me to another point that I just thought of. This actually kind of bothers me a little bit. Okay, I'm half excited, half bummed. Marvel is fighting to get the rights back to Spider-Man so they can put Spider-Man in the Avengers.
Woo!
Okay, if they do, Andrew Garfield will no longer be our Spider-Man,
And we'll probably be looking forward to yet another Spider-Man origin story.
which I am sick.
Because we haven't had enough of that in 5 movies.
Yeah, if I hear with great power comes great responsibility one more time, I'm going to deck somebody named Ben just because.
All right.
First person named Uncle Ben that I find is just bam. If it has to be a box of Uncle Ben's rice, bam. Sorry.
We know, of all the Marvel characters in the entire Marvel verse, I think everybody knows how Spider-Man came to be.
Well,
The hint is in the name.
you know what? Well, that's
His
well.
mother was a spider and his father was a hamster?
Shiny Doctor's cosplay was girlfriend was bitten by a spider the other day, and she got cellulitis. She didn't get any superpowers.
Well, that she's admitted.
But I also heard that, and I don't know how true this is. I heard one article that said they are trying to greenlight Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire.
Oh God.
Why?
please no.
Exactly.
Since he phoned it in on, the third one and a good portion of the second one. Why?
Oh, good. Tell Harry to dig out his paintball mask.
Harry did.
Did he die? Oh, that's right, he did.
Yeah.
I watched that movie once and then tried to drink it away.
Spoiler alert.
Nobody's spoiled.
Trust me, the movie sucked. It's not a spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Venom sucked. Harry died. And the Sandman.
That wasn't Venom.
And the Joker ran away.
Ah! Or he took valet.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So, but that's what's going on with Spider-Man.
I don't know what that was, but it wasn't Venom.
If you heard a jingling noise, I think Santa's on my roof right now.
It was Deadpool dressed as Venom. Smoking
That would have been a
salvia.
better plot than what we had.
Yes.
Oh.
You know something, if they had just gone through the first half of the movie and then, Deadpool just walked out and say, the rest of this is going to suck, you can go home now.
Oh.
I would have given them a raise. I would have given them a bonus.
Deadpool. Dude, I saw a Deadpool figure from like the old X-Men figures, like the 90s X-Men figures
I know.
on eBay, and he was going for like big money.
I know. I posted one version of it.
I think he started like 30 and we ended at like 80 or 90. I'm like, oh my god.
Because when I posted it on Budget Deadpool, I started watching it and I was like, well, maybe if it stays around 30,
Nope.
No.
No. It did not stay around 30.
I even went looking for the X-Men Origins, the
Oh,
Wolverine
when I have
one,
that?
the Wolverine one that looks like the real Deadpool, and yeah, no.
Dude, I found him by accident. I was at a show in Attleboro, and the dude had it in a bucket. And I can't remember. I feel bad. See, I meet so many people at these shows. I don't remember anybody's name, but I like to say he's at least a con buddy. And I said, dude, how much you want for this Deadpool? And he says, like, oh, for you, just give me like $5. I was like, all right, here you go. But he had basically a little bucket of, here's some figures I'm trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I got them. I'm happy. I'm not giving them up. So Dan, find your own.
I'm the whole time I've been Christmas shopping, I've been running into the Deadpool pop figure. Okay, and
Which one?
The one with the mask. I don't want the
Oh,
one.
the red one.
Yeah, I want the red one with the mask, and I want the gray one with the mask, the X-Force one. I don't want the two without the mask.
What about the blue one, the X-Men one?
If I got it for my birthday or something, I don't know that I'd actually go buy it.
It's actually pretty popular because I've got 3 of them for our store, and I had 2 for the last 2 shows, and I actually sold 1. Actually, I sold Oh, I had 2 for Rhode Island Comic Con. I sold them both, and I had 1 for Megafest. I sold them.
No.
So the blue one seems to be popular. I wasn't a big fan of the X-Men suit, but he was blue and yellow. But I did get a new one too.
Maybe I didn't look at it close enough, but does it have like X-Men written on it?
I don't know.
Because
I don't feel like it does.
yeah,
He's basically, it's like the same color scheme as Deadpool, but the red is blue and the black is yellow.
'Cause
Or I think the black is black, but he has a yellow belt or whatever.
because I have I have one of the
I
comics.
feel like you were right the first time.
Yeah.
One of the comics that I have that I got at Megafest is Deadpool in his X-Men suit, and it's the classic blue and yellow X-Men suit with X-Men written across the chest, but he's still wearing the same color mask. Now, if they had done that figure, that I would go for.
That would be cool.
All right, but this one, I don't know. It looks like photo negative Deadpool, in a way. I mean, that's just me. I'm sure plenty of people love it. It's sold.
Like I said, we
obviously.
keep selling it, so it's hard to. Why is my screen black? Come back. Okay, there we go.
Come back, fishy.
Oh, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I really don't have much.
No.
I have the Doctor Who Christmas special to talk about next time.
No, yeah, well, because that's not until Christmas.
Yeah. I feel like right now it's all just speculation and hype. Although I do want to say I'm really mad at Stephen Moffat for taking away any hope that it was the Zygon Osgood. You don't know what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm not being a little bit more clear on what happened.
Yeah.
But thanks, Moffat. You know, we really needed that, and you just kicked us right in the stomach.
Oh, now I'm depressed. I don't even know what's going to happen.
But I know one thing about the Christmas special.
Santa's in it.
Santa Claus is in it.
Yes, and being played by Nick Frost, which is interesting in a way.
I was actually watching that.
From Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz, and The World's End.
The one who
The guy with Simon Pegg in all 3 movies.
that's
Really?
Santa?
That's the guy
Oh,
playing
I
Santa.
heard he was going to be in it.
Wow. Yeah, so it's great because now you can say that, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have both been on Doctor Who, but why is he playing Santa Claus? I'm assuming it's for some really great one-liners, some really funny scenes.
What episode did Simon Pegg play in Doctor?
Simon Pegg was in the Christopher Eccleston season.
Oh, really?
Where?
He was the editor of Satellite 5 up on floor 500.
That was him?
That was Simon Pegg.
Wow.
I'll be damned. I've seen that episode like 100 times.
Now you're gonna go watch it again.
101.
I saw a meme earlier showed from the Christopher Eccleston series, and it was between him and Rose something about him being Santa. Well, how do you know I'm not Santa? It's like 12 years old, red tricycle. He's like, wait, what?
You're not Santa, are you? Well, how do you know Red Bicycle when you were 12?
Oh.
Fantastic.
Oh well. But I think we're done.
I think we were done about 20 minutes ago.
But everybody, please and have a nice and safe holiday. Enjoy your Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. We actually made up a word for it
Yeah, it
earlier.
was a new holiday. Now I don't remember what it was. It was Thanks Hala Christmas something.
Chris
Plus Kwanzaa.
plus Kwanzaa, yeah.
The point is, if somebody walks up to you and says, have a happy anything, they're being nice.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas. You know what? Just smile, nod, and say you too, and walk away. Because you know what? Stop being a bunch of ignorant bastards. Because I got
angry.
Well, I worked in retail for 13 years,
Angry elf.
and I heard, oh, Happy Holidays. Oh, don't be politically correct. It's Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. It's like, how about I tell you to,
Have a nice day.
Oh, that's basically what it came down to. I just, you know what? Have a good one. Hey,
Are you Jewish? Happy Hanukkah. Are you Christian? Merry Christmas. Are you an atheist? Have a nice day.
Yes.
And there's a lot more fun ways to be a jerk, all right? You can walk into a Star Trek convention, hold up and say, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, Harry.
Said Gandalf.
Use the Force, Harry.
Oh. On that note,
Before we do start a war.
you can follow us on YouTube channel Maestro65. Please check out onthehuntcomics.com and follow us on Facebook at On the Hunt Collectibles. You should also follow Art by Dan H. And if you're really, into that sort of thing, Budget Deadpool, which was just started, which is basically just how to make Deadpool costumes on a budget because there's so many different variations you can get away with it. And don't forget to also follow Shiny Doctor Cosplay. He was at Megafest. I believe you were the doctor at Megafest, were you not?
Yes, I was actually a doctor for the first time at a few conventions.
Yes, and
You
then you
got a
were
better budget.
you were
Not anymore.
then you were Dean Winchester of Rhode Island, correct?
Dean Winchester at Rhode Island, and then kind of a I was wearing some of my Doctor Who stuff on the second day of Rhode Island Comic Con, but I wasn't really in character as the Doctor at any particular point.
But you should definitely follow him on Facebook. Once again, it's Shiny Doctor Cosplay, Art by Dan H. Budget Deadpool, On the Hunt Collectibles. You can follow probably most of us on Twitter. We don't post much though.
Twitter's kind of the forgotten stepchild.
Yeah, if you really want to, if you have a Twitter account, you use it to follow celebrities, and that's what we do too. Oh, actually, I use it to follow CM Punk because he's really the only person to post anything of interest. There's actually somebody else, a British comedian. I can't remember his name. Anyway, but on that note, enjoy your holiday. Have a Merry Christmas. And that's all I'm going to say because I celebrate Christmas, so bite me. But
Celebrating second Halloween.
There you go. Until next month.
Peace.
And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.